Why visualizing is not doing shit for you. Sure, I just had to make sure that I actually pressed record there before I did it for a second. Anyways, why visualizing is not doing shit for you. There's a multitude of reasons that it could possibly be that I'm going to explain now, and obviously you can, I guess, apply your own nuance to yourself. Okay, extrapolate it to yourself. So, cool. First of all, what is visualization? Visualization is this simple act of creating an imaginative scene where you have achieved what it is that you want. Why do we visualize? Now, to come to the true understanding of why one would visualize, or why one would, I guess, use that specific technique, you've got to first understand what manifestation truly is. Manifestation is not changing your reality, it's not changing your life. Manifestation is simply internally shifting to a degree where you are no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing your life to change to believe it has changed. When you see it before the world sees it, when you believe it before the world proves it to you. And when I'm talking about belief, I'm not talking about belief in the realm of trusting, which is where a space for doubt, the possibility of doubt, is created. I'm talking about belief in the realm of knowing, where it is similar to the same attitude you'd apply to me turning on that light switch, where you 100% believe with conviction that it is going to happen, or that it has already happened, regardless of what the external shows you. So now, how does visualization tie into that? Well, like I said, manifestation is internally shifting to a degree where you're no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change. The reason why you're no longer emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change is because internally you already believe, you already know that it has happened or it is about to happen. And visualization is how you can do that, because visualization abuses the fact that the subconscious mind cannot distinguish between imagination and reality by creating an imaginative scene which generates a intense level of emotion. Like how I always say, the emotions that you're going to feel, the emotion, not the emotions, the emotion, because it'll probably be one single emotion, or it could be one or two. Nah, it's gonna be one. Sorry, I don't know why I even tried to complicate it. Anyways, the emotion that you're going to feel is completely dependent upon you as a person. One person might even cry after achieving this goal. Another person might just feel a sense of relief. Another person might feel an extreme sense of excitement, euphoria, or joy. It's all dependent upon you as a person. Now, cool. Now that we understand why we visualize and what manifestation truly is and what visualization does to help us get to the point of manifestation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put out some simple examples of why the visualization isn't working. 1. You are only working on one plane. So, what I mean when I say you're only working on one plane is I'm talking about the fact that there are 3 planes, okay? And in order for you to manifest something, in order for you to actually have something, there must be alignment on all 3 planes. There must be alignment on the spiritual plane, the mental plane, and the physical plane. Now, there's an order of priority to these planes. First being the spiritual plane, the second being the mental plane, third being the physical plane. Now you can sort of kind of imagine the spiritual and mental plane to be intertwined in a way, because the spiritual plane is just accepting that you're leaving the manifestation to God. You're letting God do the rest of the work. The mental plane is where you plant the seed and you water it. The physical plane is where that seed that has been watered and generated, that seed that has also been planted, starts to express itself onto the physical. And how this process happens? Cool. You visualize, generate an imaginative scene that gets you into a intense emotional state, and then after you have done this visualization, you have entered the identity, or sort of shift to that identity of the person who has whatever it is you visualized, or has become the person that they were in the visualization that you created, in the imaginative scene that you created. And then, because you have then changed your frequency or your identity or your state of consciousness, you are now literally a new person. And because you're a new person, you have different intuition, because your intuition, which stands for inner guidance, is derived from your frequency or your state of consciousness or your identity. This inner guidance then creates compelling thoughts, and these compelling thoughts are thoughts that compel you to take action. And then once this action is taken, it is then affecting physical life, physical reality. Now, can you kind of see like how it links here, and kind of how it's similar: spiritual, mental plane, physical plane, state of consciousness / frequency / identity to intuition and guidance to compelling thoughts to action to reality. Now, once you know this, you then understand that there is no point in visualizing and doing absolutely no works towards what you're trying to visualize. It's like, I think they said it in the Bible, I'm pretty sure. Faith without works is fucking pointless. There is no point to it. But the same way that just visualizing and not taking any action isn't going to do shit for you, it's the same way that taking action without doing any, it doesn't have to be visualization, without doing anything to get yourself into the state of consciousness of someone who has what it is you are working towards, there is no point. You cannot take actions you cannot take actions that get you to wealth while being in the state of consciousness of poverty, in the frequency of poverty, with the identity of poverty. You cannot take actions towards being fit while in the state of consciousness of unfitness, while in the identity of unfitness, while in the frequency of unfitness. That is one simple use case or simple example as to why your visualization is not doing shit for you, because you're not doing shit for yourself. You're not taking any action. Like what the fuck do you think this is? You could just sit on your bed, imagine your favorite scene, and then fucking it just appears? Nah, nigga, you gotta get your ass to that chair. You gotta get your ass to work. You gotta get your ass to work. Anyways, that's one reason. That could be one reason as to why your visualization isn't working. 2, your conviction within the technique itself. People, my people, guys, come on. We need to understand that when it comes to manifestation, techniques, all right, there's way too much emphasis on techniques. Visualizing, affirmations, mood boards, scripting. Bro, take a breather, relax. It is simply all about you. You are the secret. You are the key. The conviction that you have within something is what gives it its power. The conviction that you have within affirmations is what gives it its power. The conviction you have within visualization is what gives it its power. You are the key. If you wanted to, if you had the conviction necessary, you could even do it with no techniques. It could be as simple as jotting down the actions that person would take, and then taking those actions, and then now you're building your self-trust. Now your ability to follow through is through the roof. Now your ability to follow through counting in your mind is through the roof, and you've got that self-trust to the point where you can tap into that conviction and start expecting things, and those things you expect then start to happen and things start to go your way. But at the end of the day, the game is just understanding what you have the most conviction in and then using that. So if you don't have conviction in visualizations, you can either 1, completely switch technique, or try no techniques, or you can develop more conviction in visualization by understanding the mechanics behind it as a technique. And what I mean by this is by understanding that it abuses the fact that your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between imagination and reality, and that it abuses the fact that your subconscious mind does not have a concept of a past or a future, only the present. Now, moving on after that, the next example as to why your visualization is not doing shit for you is, if I can remember off the top of my head, I don't know why, it was literally just in my head and now it's disappeared. 1 second. Is sorry about this, guys, bear with me. Sorry, the final one. Very simple. You're simply not doing it correctly, or just doing it in a way where your subconscious mind cannot believe whatever the fuck it is you're showing it. Cool. I'm gonna make it brief and make it a nice summary for you. Alright? Actually, now fuck that. I'm not making it brief. I'm gonna make it so that you understand it. Alright? Whether it's brief or not, I couldn't give a fuck. Cool. Visualization, like I said, abuses the fact that your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. But we also need to, keep in mind that when you imagine something, it is literally supposed to be like it would be if you actually experienced it in real life, in order for your subconscious mind to actually believe it. So, therefore, you have to use your 5 physical senses. Because if you don't, it's just going to feel like you're just putting an image in front of yourself. This means it has to be a scene that's a couple seconds long. And the scene has to utilize 2 or 3 of your physical senses. Whichever senses feel like they would be best to you is the ones that you use. Like I said, this game of consciousness is very impersonal. It's very personal. A lot of it is just got to do with you, really. That's why self-understanding and inner work is key. But anyways, like I said, I'm going to keep it nice, short, and simple and sweet. And you're going to visualize or create this imaginative scene when you are relaxed. You're going to sit down, lay on your bed, and relax. Take a breather. Going to relax. And as you're relaxing, that's when you then begin to start the scene, begin to imagine the scene. And while you're doing this, you want to keep doing it. And once you start to feel the intense emotions, you want to keep going, you want to keep looping it until you don't feel the emotion anymore. As soon as you don't feel the emotion anymore, stop. And the reason why you are looping it is because you want it to be a thing where the emotion that gets generated is very intense. And the emotion that gets generated, like I said, very personal to you. The emotion will be different for everybody. Someone might cry, someone might feel euphoria, someone might feel really calm, someone might feel a sense of relief. Okay, it all depends upon you. You know what emotion you would feel after achieving what it is that you're trying to get. And if you don't, it is as simple as understanding what that represents to you. The thing that you're trying to get, you getting it, what does that mean to you? Once you understand that, then you'll easily be able to extrapolate what emotion, the type of emotion you'd feel out of it. Now, after you are done with this, this is the one thing that people miss. Okay? Cool, you've done the visualization and you've actually done it correctly this time. You have conviction in the visualization. You understand why you're doing this. You're not just doing it for no reason. Okay? You are taking action towards this visualization. There's only one possible thing that you could be missing now, and that is simply, there's two more things you could be missing. The next thing that you could be missing is creating an energetic shield around yourself. And this is as simple as thinking about one thought, finding out, or just finding one sentence that you would think in the case of you achieving what it is that you're trying to get, and just injecting that thought into your mind, into your conscious mind, all the time, constantly. And when I say all the time, I mean when you're doing things that you can do like in a flow state, like when you're doing laundry, when you're washing dishes, when you're taking a shower, when you're mowing the lawn, okay? Things like that. While you're doing things like that, just inject that thought into yourself. Oh, I've done this. Oh, I've done that. Use case example. Let's say what you're trying to manifest is a better partner. Use case example is, okay, cool, the dating market isn't as shit as I thought, or this girl is actually kind of a good girl, or this guy isn't that bad of a guy. You know, another use case example, say you want more clients for your business. Wow, it's actually easy for me to get clients now. This isn't something that you have to affirm externally, by the way. You don't have to actually say it. You can just inject the thought into your head and just think it while going about your day, is what I'm saying. And that is really it for that, I guess, that part. Because if you don't create that energetic shield, it's like you planted the seed, but you're not even watering it. Now, after this, what you can do to sort of, I guess, create a checkpoint for yourself and also consciously maneuver yourself to the identity that you want to become is use the 7 keys of your frequency, of your state of consciousness. And now the 7 keys of a frequency or state of consciousness or identity are as simple as your focus, what you focus on, your beliefs, the beliefs that you have, your perception, how you view the world, your expectations, what you expect, your reactions, your emotionally charged thoughts, and your conviction. And it's as simple as jotting them all down on a journal or notebook. It doesn't really matter. Maybe even on your phone, but I'd say on a journal or notebook, and literally just writing what you were like in reference to those. For example, your focus. What did you place your attention towards? Your perception. How were you viewing the world? Your beliefs. Your beliefs are as simple as a choice. It is as simple as making a decision, I believe. It is deciding whether to think this way about something or that way about something. And a belief that it is hard to change your beliefs can create a belief which makes it difficult for you to change your beliefs. So here's one, quick belief to change. You can change your beliefs. Your beliefs about beliefs. Change your beliefs about your beliefs. You can change it just like that. Just like that. And the problem is, it will kind of seem like you can't, because you had your belief about beliefs is that you can't change them easily. But that's a belief you can adopt right now. Simply just say internally that you can change your belief, and just acknowledge that it's just as simple as making a decision, an internal decision, to think a certain way about something. Now, your perception. I think I already said perception. your expectations. What were you expecting? If you were expecting something that isn't in alignment with your desired self, or being someone who would have what it is that you want, then change your expectation to that. Consciously shift your expectations as you go about your day. Consciously shift your perception as you go about your day. Consciously shift what you react to as you go about your day. Constantly think emotionally charged thoughts that are in alignment with that identity, that state of consciousness, that frequency. And that is really it, because when you pedestalize the visualization, right, and then you think there's no more work to be done, or you think there is, okay, cool, not no more work to be done, because there's no more work to be done, but you think that is, okay, there's no more internal work to be done. That is when, okay, cool, once you pedestalize the visualization to the point where you think there's no internal work to be done or external work to be done, where you're not even taking any action, or you're not even, I guess, consciously injecting the thoughts into your mind, or being reflective of yourself and checking whether your 7 keys are actually matching the frequency or the identity that you want to have, then it's pointless. It is fucking pointless. And yeah, that's really it. This is why your visualizations aren't doing shit, nigga. This is why they're not working. Probably, it's definitely one of the reasons I just mentioned. It's either you have no conviction in it, you're not doing it correctly. Like, bro, I'll hear about niggas visualizing, and fucking they're in third person mode, like they're using a drone. The thing is, that is a bit of a paradox though, because I guess that could work considering the fact that they have a lot of conviction in it. But hey, most of the time you probably won't have conviction in a visualization method such as that, because you're going to think, wait a minute, don't I see things in first person? How am I going to, oh? And then you're just a bit confused. But anyway, without going off on a tangent, that is really all that it is for today's video. And make sure that you took your notes, and if you didn't take notes, go back, take notes, even put some notes in the comments, some brief notes in the comments, so that people can know, because the truth is, everybody's going to watch this video but extrapolate completely different things from it. Because you may think that what you're watching is this video, but what you're truly watching is your state of consciousness, your level of consciousness. So that is the reason why you can watch a video and come back to it like a week later, and then you watch it again, and then there's something in the video that you didn't realize before. And this has even happened. This happens in all like cases of just intaking information in general. Remember when you watched that movie, right? And then the first time you watched that movie, the movie was amazing. Next time you watch it, or you come and invite your boys over to watch it, or your friends to watch it, or watch it with your girl, and all of a sudden the movie's shit. the movie's ass, and you're thinking, wait a minute, is this the same movie? Like, obviously you know it's the same movie, but you're thinking, Rob, was it actually as bad? I don't remember it being as bad, you know? And that's because your state of consciousness has risen, and you're kind of seeing like the inadequacies within the movie, sort of, in a way. But obviously with certain movies that are actually really good, you know, it's gonna take a while for you to get to that point. Like, bro, I've watched Infinity War and Endgame like, what, 3-4 times. Those movies are still fucking amazing to me. So like, yeah, anyways, that is really it for today's video. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Goodbye.